Hello everyone, it's Tailz from Studio WyldFurr here. I'm playing around in Foundry Virtual Tabletop, as you can see by what's in the background, and I'm trying out tokens today. So what I've made is I've made 4 sample actors. They're all just NPCs, so when I went and created them, I just went, put a name in, non-player character, create, and then I assigned a token to each of them. So assigning a token, when you get to this sheet, which is you get by clicking on the name, go to prototype token, then you can click on appearance, and you can go through. This little icon at the back here is, I'll just go back. So this little icon here is the file browser. So it'll bring it up. You can, find it in your modules or wherever you keep your tokens. I've just put a bunch of tokens into the core data folder because I'm literally just experimenting. And then I've assigned each token to each NPC. So I've made one for my token scaling aid, a wizard, an ogre, and a goblin. And then I've placed each onto a standard map where I've made the only thing that I've done, well actually I haven't done anything to this map, but oh no I have, it's 180 pixels per grid square, which is the standard that I use. Now the first thing you'll be able to see is that each token image is squeezed into a grid square. So for example, the ogre, this fella here, he's quite small. He's 1 grid square in size. He should probably be 4, or at least 2. The goblin, he's a lot bigger than he should be. The human wizard, he's probably about right. Positioning's a bit weird because of his position in the artwork, but and also because it squeezed him into the grid square. The token scaling aid looks pretty right, but if you zoom in, whoops, I'll put the wizard up there. If you zoom in, you can see that there's a little bit of a spacing because the original image has a shadow, because other virtual tabletop programs that you would put this into, it would place it on a pixel per pixel basis, so it would actually come up right to the edge of the grid. So because there's a little bit of a shadowing, it squeezes that inside the box. Now to try and get these to the size that they should be, double click on it, go to the token option at the top, and we can go to appearance. I'll get rid of this panel. Now you'll see that there is a scale thing just here. Now when you first pop a image into the token and place it onto the tabletop, it'll fit it to 1 grid square, and according to the program, that will be the 1-to-1 scale. So if you then start to scale up or down, it's scaling using that grid square as that basis. So it's not scaling on how big the token originally was, like what's the original DPI or pixels or whatever that is. It's going by its current state according to it being fit within that 1 grid square. So I'd want to make this a little bit bigger to try and get it closer. So, and now with the scale, if you mouse over it and roll your mouse button, you'll see it goes up and down. Now it goes in increments of 0.1. So for example, you can see 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and if I go down, 0.9, 0.8. Now these sort of correspond to 10% increments. So 1.1 is 110% of its current size to that grid square. So if I just go update, See how it's just gone a little bit over? So because it jumps in 10% increments, makes it a little bit difficult to size things precisely. So you can get close, but not spot on. So, for example, if we have a look at this wizard, I'll do the same thing to the token. So he's probably all right, size-wise. So he should be fun. So let's get rid of this link actor size to link actor size to grid square. So he'll scale up and down. So let's just make him 0.9. There we go. So that's probably about right. Now the goblin, he's way too big. Oops. If you're wondering what this is, if you right click on a token, this brings up this interface. A lot of this is gameplay interface, which I won't cover, but this option here, this little cog, is what we're dealing with, which brings up the token control, which you can also get to by just double clicking on him, which brings up your character sheet, and then you go configure. Oops, sorry, not configure, token. Bear with me, I've only been playing with this for a few hours. So once again, we want to make him a little bit smaller. Let's get link actor size, and let's bring him down. It's probably about the size that he should be. Now the big guy. Now he should probably be way bigger. So once again, token, appearance, unlink it to actor size. Let's close that. Let's roll him right up. Let's go 2. So that'll be like 200%. That's more. He looks more like it now. So that's a quick way of scaling your tokens and having them look the size that you would expect that they look. It's not completely accurate as what I would prefer, but it'll get you through. Now, one thing that I'm looking at doing, simply because I do like having things nice and accurate, is I'm looking at creating a. So I'll get rid of the token scaling aid, or actually I'll work with the token scaling aid. So that white border should be right on the border of the grid square. Now it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one that I've adjusted. So let me change this. So here's my normal token scaling aid. I've created another one. Let's put this back to 1:1. Okay, so see how it's inset? So that's once again at 100%, which is 1. It's squeezing the original artwork into that grid square. Now, I know that I've made the original artwork to be 150% of its normal size. So if we make this scale, 1.5, it's now spot on. So that white line is right in, nice and snug to the edges of the grid. It's scaled properly. So what I'm probably going to be doing is updating some of my token packs with Foundry specific artwork or adjusted artwork, so that these guys will be the correct scale, correct size. So for example, I've done it with the wizard. So if we go to this fellow, go to his appearance, change him to this one, close that. Now I'll put it to 1:1 so you can see he'll be smaller. So see how he's smaller? Now if I come back in, make him 101.5, which is the 150%. Oops. An update. He's now correctly scaled. He's now looks right. And I also positioned him so he actually looks like he's standing in the middle of the square. So I'll have to see how much play I can get with that. Obviously, it means, you know, because I'm actually making everything square, so the actual border of the artwork is about here, where I'm drawing out. So hang on. So his actual border is like that. But because of the way that this program works, you can only see the image because it's all, the background is all transparent. So if I do the same thing with the goblin, change it to the adjusted, make it 150, which is the 1.5, update. So there we see he's the size he should actually be, and if we do it with the ogre, he should be a lot bigger. Dunk. I'll just make him 101.5, which is the scaling it should be. And there we go. He's the correct size he should be. Although, you know, if you wanted to use the same artwork as a giant, you'd just scale him right up. But that's tokens in Forge Virtual Tabletop. Pretty cool. If you like my stuff, please check out my website. Links are in the description below. Thank you very much.